Everyone's fighting over overpriced homes in South End and Dilworth. But there's a neighborhood just 1 mile from town where transformation is happening, and it's turning $300,000 homes into luxury price points. Today, we're talking about Plaza Midwood. I'm telling you right now, sleeping on this neighborhood could cost you $150,000 more in appreciation that you'll never get back. And the inventory situation I'm going to show you later is going to make it really clear when you need to move before you get priced out for good. Let's dive in. How Plaza Midwood became one of Charlotte's most sought after in-town areas. Walk the streets and you'll notice something right away. That tree canopy overhead didn't just appear overnight. This neighborhood has bones that go back more than 100 years. Plaza Midwood was originally established in 1903 as a streetcar suburb. It was one of Charlotte's first neighborhoods built specifically for the growing middle class. You had bungalows, early craftsman homes, and tree-lined streets that still define the character today. And the entire area was designed around the streetcar line that ran along Central Avenue and the plaza. That's where the neighborhood name originally comes from. For decades, Plaza Midwood stayed pretty quiet. It had loyal community, but wasn't a hotspot that way it is right now. Then something shifted. Adapted reuse started happening along Central Avenue. Old buildings were converted into restaurants, independent retail, bars, and breweries. The commercial corridor came alive, and that small business culture started shaping the identity of the neighborhood, what is currently there. And these original condition homes we're seeing disappearing today, which I'll show you exact numbers on when later. Those are the same kind of properties that gentrification targets first. So stick around. Now, once the momentum hits, being close to uptown became a huge advantage. Plaza Midwood sits about 1 mile from uptown Charlotte. Commute time is roughly 12 minutes in normal traffic. You're close to everything without being stuck in the middle of downtown congestion. And as a transit option started expanding, plus the neighborhood's walkable grid layout, it made the area even more attractive. So what's happened next? That combination created rapid price appreciation, and then a steady pipeline of renovations followed. This wasn't some slow change over decades. Once the area got momentum, it moved fast. Plaza Midwood's identity is tied to that historic grid, the commercial corridor along Central, and the growth of the small business culture. And that history matters because it directly affects what you're actually paying for. When you buy a home here today, what you actually get for your money in Plaza Midwood, you can have the same square footage for 2 homes on the same street, but end up with a price difference of 25% or more. That's reality in this neighborhood. And here's why. You're looking at housing stock from totally different eras, and that creates big swings in pricing. You've got original condition homes from 1940s and 1950s and some in the 1960s. These are cottages and bungalows that haven't been touched in decades. Then you've got renovated bungalows where someone actually came in, gutted the entire place, and updated everything. And then you've got newer infill construction, modern builds that went up in the 2000s or more recently. According to the latest data, the median sales price in Plaza Midwood is around the low mid $800,000. That's much higher than the broader Charlotte region. But that number doesn't tell the full story. Original condition homes might start in the mid $300,000 to $400,000 depending on the size and the location. Renovated homes, the move-in ready ones with updated kitchens, bathrooms, and modern systems, those are pushing into the mid $500,000 to low $600,000. New construction and modern infill builds are selling in the higher $600,000 to the upper $700,000, and sometimes pushing into the $800,000 price point. Now, lot sizes can vary a lot also. Some properties sit on smaller lots like 5,000 to 6,000 square feet. Others have larger parcels. and that affects your long-term value. Plus, your expansion potential is if you're thinking about adding square footage later on to that renovation. Renovated houses often trade at a premium because inventory turns fast. Buyers want that character of an older home, but they still want modern finishes and the updated systems. So when those renovated homes hit the market, they move quickly. That's why understanding these price tiers matter. But what's reshaping the whole landscape right now is the wave of redevelopment happening across the entire neighborhood. By the way, if you're seriously considering Plaza Midwood or any Charlotte neighborhood, I've helped over 300 families make smart moves in the city. Whatever your situation is, I can show you exactly which area to look at and which ones to avoid. My contact information is right in the description below. All right, let's get back to it. The redevelopment wave, infill build, townhomes, and Central Avenue expansion. Builders are coming into Plaza Midwood, buying older properties, tearing them down, and putting up new construction. Beautiful places. Sometimes it's single-family homes. Sometimes it's the townhome developments with, multiple units. And this infill construction is adding modern homes and new townhome communities, which is increasing density throughout the area. So if you're looking at the new build, you need to think through a few things: construction timelines, HOA rules, and what the maintenance expectations really are. Townhomes usually come with an HOA that covers the exterior maintenance, landscaping, and sometimes helps with the roofs. That's a monthly fee on top of your standard mortgage. Single-family new builds might not have an HOA, but then you are responsible for everything. Now, the commercial growth on Central Avenue keeps pulling buyers who want that walkability to the different amenities. The Plaza Midwood Social District launched in early 2024. It allows patrons to consume alcohol beverages in designated outdoor areas from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily, and that boosted the neighborhood's walkability and the overall social vibe. More businesses are participating. More foot traffic is coming through, and there's more activity. Redevelopment can shift traffic patterns and raise long-term property value, but it also brings construction activity. If you're buying in an area where infill is happening, you might deal with the noise, the trucks, and temporary road closures. That's the trade-off. The biggest trend to watch is for this. Properties closer to restaurants, bars, breweries, and retail are seeing the strongest appreciation. The farther you get from Central Avenue, the more the price curve flattens. So understanding where that commercial redevelopment is, and where it's headed, helps you position yourself for maximum appreciation. But location only matters if you can actually get where you need to go. So let's talk about connectivity, commute, connectivity, and parks. Why location drives demand? 12, minutes. That's the average drive from Plaza Midwood to Uptown Charlotte. Not on a perfect Sunday morning, on a regular Tuesday at 8 a.m. Plaza Midwood sits about 1 mile from Uptown Charlotte. So, depending on the route, you can be uptown in about 10 to 15 minutes in normal traffic. And that's huge if you work in the financial district, the healthcare, tech, or really any major industry that's tied to uptown. You're close to everything without feeling like you're living inside the center of it all. You also got increased greenway connectivity, which matters more than people think. The Little Sugar Creek Greenway is a 19-mile linear park that runs near the neighborhood and gives you long stretches of walks and biking trails. You can hop on the Greenway and get to other parts of the city without dealing with all the chaotic traffic. And then there's the day-to-day lifestyle. You got restaurants, retail clusters, and basic services all within a short drive or walking distance. Breweries like Legion Brewing and Residential Culture Brewing are right in the neighborhood. You got bars, coffee shops, and local restaurants. A lot of residents walk to dinner, grab drinks, and meet friends without getting into their vehicles. That walkable neighborhood layout makes it possible. Mecklenburg County Park and Recreation also maintains several parks in and around Plaza Midwood, including Midwood Park and Veterans Park. Midwood Park is a central gathering space with baseball and soccer fields, tennis courts, and picnic areas. Veterans Park, located off of Central Avenue, includes 19 acres of space with baseball fields, a splash pad, and a walking trail. Most neighborhoods give you one or the other, convenience or historic character. Plaza Midwood gives you both, and that's rare here in Charlotte, which is why demand stays so consistent. But what's changing right now is what's actually available to buy here, and that changes your strategy completely. The one shift that most buyers miss, inventory composition is changing. The homes you could buy here in 2020 don't exist anymore. Not because they're sold, because they were torn down or renovated so heavily you wouldn't recognize what they turned into. Here's what's happening. Plaza Midwood is slowly tilting towards newer homes because older stock is either being renovated or replaced. 5 years ago, you could walk into Plaza Midwood with a mid $200,000 budget and find options. Those original condition homes were the entry point. Today, those homes are harder to find. They're either getting renovated and coming back on the market at higher price points, or they're being torn down and replaced with new construction. Months of supply trends show inventory tightening in the renovated segments. At the same time, new construction releases can create temporary spikes. When a townhome development finishes, you might see 5 or 6 units hit the market at once. That creates a short window where inventory looks higher. But once those units sell, inventory drops again. So you need to decide your priority early. Do you want an original condition home, a renovated home, or a modern build? If you want the original condition, you need to move fast when something hits the market, or maybe find something even off market, because they aren't many of them left. If you want renovated, you're competing with other buyers who want the same thing. So you should expect multiple offers fairly quickly. If you want new construction, you need to understand the builder's timeline, the warranty, and what's included versus what they considered in different upgrades. Knowing which inventory segment is trending up or down helps you act faster and helps you avoid overpaying. And here's a good example. If you're looking at renovated home that's been sitting for 60 days, that's a signal. Either it's overpriced or something about it is turning buyers away. Maybe location. Now let me zoom out and give you the bigger picture. Plaza Midwood is going through gentrification. I'm not saying that's good or bad. I'm saying it's happening, and you need to understand what that means. You can already see what happened in Dilworth, which started as Charlotte's first planned suburb in 1890 and has since experienced significant real estate transformation and redevelopment. Now, the flippers, the builders, and the developers are moving a little bit farther out. And the next major area that they're looking at is in Plaza Midwood. In 7 to 10 years, you're looking at much higher luxury price points here because it's the proximity to everything that's happening in Charlotte. Proximity to Uptown, proximity to South End. You're right in the middle of the major job centers. But it's more than just proximity. It's the historic charm, the older trees, the walkability layout, the character you cannot replicate in new suburban developments a little bit farther away. And the nightlife here is strong. It's getting stronger day by day. You're seeing culinary growth, pubs and social gathering places, trendy craft beer spots, cocktail bars, and even pickleball courts are popping up. The culture here is growing fast. So this is one of those areas that's following the future, not stuck in the past. And that trajectory is exactly what's going to push prices from where they are now into true luxury territory over the next decade. So if you're serious about making a move to Plaza Midwood or any Charlotte neighborhood, don't hesitate to reach out. Shoot me an email at mark@carolinaskyre.com today. Whether you're coming over next week, next month, or even next year, I'm your guide, and let me show you why. Now, Plaza Midwood is just one piece of Charlotte's transformation. Check out the video I've linked here, breaking down the mega projects reshaping this entire city. I look forward to catching up with you soon. Bye.